Pisces, how's it going? Let's do a reading for you, Sun and Rising. This will be a general read, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Don't force it to fit if it doesn't fit. I hope there's messages here for you. Current energies. Current energies. Current energies for Pisces. You might feel like your communication is really straightforward and intense right now, Pisces. With it you being a mutable sign, you may find yourself a little more sharp these days. Sharp with the word, sharp with what you want to say. You feel worn down. You're thinking about work. Maybe you get concerned about how you come across, or maybe you feel at times like you're too passionate. And you want to be more grounded within yourself. It does feel like there's something here that you're passionate about, and you may feel like you move in this wild manner these days, and maybe at times you're not sure where it's coming from, you just can't help it. And you want to say the most truthful thing and say it in the most honest way and bring it forward. Work is definitely on your mind. I'm definitely getting like reflecting on all the years you've put in to a place, reflecting on what you're taking with you, what you're leaving behind. So this could signal some sort of transition with work, and you could be figuring out what all of it has meant, what all of the work has meant to you. And to others. So maybe others are giving you feedback at this time that means a lot to you as you start to build your resume and think through the deeper aspects of life. Pisces, you're always going to think about the deeper places. You just are. You're what keeps this world in touch with the depth of things. And so you aren't just going to be on the surface level. You're going to feel deeply. I feel like you're doing your best to stay grounded. I feel like you're trying to do your best to stay in this trusting earth place, and yet it would be disingenuous if I didn't see that there's a lot happening within you, maybe a lot more that you want to say, a lot more that you want to do. Maybe there's a part of you that's trying to temper what you really want to communicate. Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. I feel like you're walking into something new. You're thinking about something new. You're thinking about a new path, again, this has a lot of Pentacles energy here. I feel like there's a lot of reflection going on around money, work, who you are, what you have to bring to the table. And then it's like we have this swords energy coming in. So we have Pentacles and swords, that's it. And so there's like this practical path that you're thinking about. I feel like you could be embarking on a new journey. And then like there's this like, I almost feel like when this Ace of Swords came out, it's like this remembrance. Like remembering the truth of who you are, remembering all that you've done and brought so far. And that the truth that maybe at times you feel like is too much is what actually crowns you. It's what actually, people hold your truth very highly, the things that you speak. I think you've been left with a lot of, you've been left holding other people's crap. You've been left wondering about your value. You've been left wondering about what you have to offer, if you have anything to offer, if it's valuable. And you've been left wondering if you're the wrong one, if you're the bad one, if you're somehow failing in a way or doing something wrong, but really it feels like projections that have been put on you over the years and you trying to fight them off. And it's like, it's almost like you've been speaking for so long or you've been working for so long towards something, and then you wonder, like I feel like you feel defeated. Like something hasn't been working, work hasn't been working, or people around you have let you down. And yet, I think because your energy is so fluid at times or so empathetic at times, that energy seeps into you and you wonder, maybe it is me. Maybe it is me. There's something here about your childhood and the support that you didn't get, the support that you deserved as a child that you didn't get. You didn't get it. You didn't get it. And you may have played like the perfect daughter, or you're trying to play this daughter. You've tried to be a bridge of your family, a connector, trying to keep this ideal emotional state going as if all of the responsibility fell on your shoulders. And it feels like that is playing out here. That's playing out in your life now. Get this very tender energy from you. You're very tender. something about the perfect family, there's something here about the perfect image of a family. And sometimes it all just feels so raw and untrue. Like, we're not a perfect family. We fail all the time. Or maybe this was growing up, your family was seen as this perfect, idyllic family. Everyone everyone got dressed up. Everyone was beautiful. Everything was put together perfectly. But really, there was so much of an image that never was there. And you carry that about in your life, and maybe in some realms you've been able to actually live that or project that in your current reality, but it still sinks into you that you're tired, and what is all of it for? And when I speak the truth, do people actually understand that what I'm saying is nothing is perfect, and I'm not perfect, and the world isn't perfect, and nothing's going how I thought it would ever go? Though you perceive me to be this specific way, I'm actually not, and I'm tired of it. And the truth is, I'm tired. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I think I'm doing a good job one minute, and the next minute I actually am a complete failure. I'm misunderstood all the time, because if I'm soft, I'm messed with. If I'm hard, if I'm hardened, people see me as this way. And honestly, like, nothing has ever been good, and I've not been able to hold it up, and I still can't hold it up. I can't hold any of it up. The things you can't see in the dark, the things you can't, the seeds that you've planted in the dark will bloom. Everything that you feel like has been wasted will not be wasted. I just got that message. Everything that you've planted that feels like it's been a complete waste, it isn't. It isn't. You've tended your garden so well, and there's a part of you that wants to rip it all out. And yet you go out and you see the way that there's a little bit of life here. You could be trying to design a job that feels really good for you, new employment, and you're just maybe not seeing much growth, maybe not seeing what it's all been for. Yeah, you feel wounded. You feel locked in. You feel locked in. You feel wounded. You feel like you want to fight somebody. You feel like you want to fight and tell people how it really is. But sometimes I think there's a thought, well, the projections aren't so bad. Like, the projections aren't so bad. I'm going to let people think what they are. And then there's a part of you that wants to correct. There's a part of you that wants to correct these projections. And maybe at times you do come out and battle in some sort of way. And then you let those projections come back in. Because there's a certain comfort in the projections that you do have it all together, or you're just a step away, or I feel caught between, like you're caught between these worlds that are very meaningful to you. I'm getting this desire for you to you know what it is? It's that you don't want to feel the loneliness of what it would mean to live without people's projections of you, because even those projections serve as a certain sort of company. And to break out of those would be to be flying free in a world of your own where people really don't understand. Where people don't understand you outside of that cookie cutter life. Because messiness maybe isn't completely your thing, being out loud with it. It's like if people only knew, and people see you as kind of this tortured, yet beautiful, yet holding it together person, but really like there's an aspect of you, I think, that wants to walk out to sea and not come back, honestly. Because you don't know who you are without these projections, and you don't know who you are with them. You don't know. Again, there's this suspended energy and this fear, this fear of seeing what's on the other side of this, to letting people see that you really don't have it all together, and their need for you to have it all together is actually about them. Because what you need is to find yourself and your way and your path. That's maybe not so pretty all the time. Knight of Cups, Six of Swords. Wow, isn't this interesting? You are a romantic through and through. I heard this lady say about, she said some signs need to approach their creativity like a romance. I feel like for Pisces that's really true, because Pisces, you are so romantic. And I don't mean in the sense of like, you need romance to thrive. Like you need expression toward you. Like from a lover, it needs to be expressed. That lovership needs to be expressed in romance, throughout romance. I feel like that's a really high priority for you. Your life in some ways needs to feel really romantic and beautiful, and you know how to do this. You need this right now. You need to romance all of the ideas that you have. And she talked about when you create art, when you're creating your art, you need in your projects, it's like, what would light me up right now? What would really fulfill me right now? What like turns me on about my life right now? And I think you're wondering what that would be for yourself right now, as someone who seems to be in this card naturally in that place. I think you're wondering, what does that mean again? What does romance mean again for me? What is the difference between romancing my life and the elements within it and hiding behind a perfect facade? This isn't about not being excellent and not being good and not being put together, but it's about you wanting to know, people to know that there's so much more to you than what looks effortless. On some days it is, and on some days it's not. you really need something magical right now. Because your thoughts pull you to the dark places. You think of leaving. You think of leaving. There's a split happening. There's a split happening. You're thinking of leaving because I think you feel like it'll never be enough. Because your life has never maybe even grown beyond a certain point. You have a lot of night energy here. I think there's an element of you that wants to leave it all behind and start again. In your mind, you're going away. In your mind, you want to get out. You want to get in a boat and you want to leave the situation behind, because I think you're afraid that nothing will ever or could ever be enough for you. And what can I tell you, Pisces? I mean, what do you tell the ocean about this? What do I tell a Pisces about the call to the dark that's perpetually with you, that calls you so deep that you almost stay at the surface, because how deep you can go can be so deep. All I can tell you is that I feel you. I feel you. Not everything has to have a reason, so to speak. You being here is enough. And figuring out how to swim to the deep and come back up for air it's okay. It's okay. That one minute you feel suffocated by the life that you have, and the next minute you're romancing it, and the next minute you want to leave it all behind, and the next minute your mind is going crazy, and the next minute, one minute you feel mature and like you've tempered and you're as grounded as an earth sign, and the next minute you want to speak truth so harsh that they crown you queen of the world. Because your truths come from a depth that people have not even touched before. People haven't ever gone to the depths of a Pisces. And I don't care what anybody says, nobody has. And so then you come up to the surface and you're supposed to be what? You're supposed to just walk around and be the Knight of Cups? No. It's not going to work for you for too long. I mean, you can hold it in a little cup for a little while, but all of a sudden, these truths are going to come out, and they're going to come out, and they're going to come out fierce. And that's all there is to it. What they do is they bring healing. What they do is they bring some sort of presence out of you, within you, and it comes out. And you're walking around as this thing that people can't understand, but when they get around you, it's like, oh my God, where has she been, and how did she get here, and what's going to happen next? So I guess I just want to say, trust yourself. Trust what wants to come forward. If it's a big truth, speak it. If it feels harsh, oh well, people are going to have to manage it. If it makes you not look like the good put together person, well, that's for other people to worry about. You are present with what is coming up, because you're living between worlds that many of us have never touched before. Look at what I'm doing with my hands. Okay. I love you. If you need to take a break, if you need to leave, leave for a little bit. If you need to leave things behind, leave those behind. If you need to leave people behind, leave them behind. You're surviving, you're thriving. You get to be unpredictable, you get to be messy, you get to be how you were created to be. Pisces, I love you, honestly, and I'm here for you.